Sorry for all the fan noises. It's a nice warm day today. Yesterday I had a couple of kids, I call them kids. Kids stopped by the shop. No, they weren't kids. A couple young men stopped by the shop, and another person stopped by the shop, and another couple stopped by the shop, and two bikers stopped by the shop before I knew I had a shop full of people. But anyway, first thing I'll mention is that the two original guys, they brought me a new hammer, and I'll give this thing a go here for a little while, and then I'll talk about it in Foresight Chat. Very, very cool. Thank you guys for that. Beautiful hammer. Now I'll explain more and what it came from. But the point of this video is they came over, the original two, and they brought a piece of 1075, and they forged out a decent 10-12 inch kitchen knife. And they had a piece of scrap left over, and I'm like, well, alright, what are you going to do today, Chandler? And I think what I'm going to do today is forge this into maybe a small paring knife or something. Integral handle, all just one piece, and just see it. Just see how it goes. I think it should be a pretty quick project, and pretty fun. So that's the plan. Small kitchen knife with an integrated handle. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get this thing down. Now you're not going to see the colors I have because the sun's still shining through the door. Get this thing down into something more consolidated all the way across. Even though it's thicker than I want it to be, I'm going to do that, and then I can go ahead and draw things out where I want it to be. I've never done like it. What I'm trying to do is integrated handle, and I'm a little worried about balance. So hopefully when we get done, the balance will be, it'll be in the handle, hopefully not too much. But I didn't think about that. The heavier handle thing gets dropped on the kitchen floor, it'll hit the handle first, and that might not be a bad thing. Alright, let's bring this thing down a little bit more before I start pulling her out. Be okay with that. It's still red. I don't know if you can see it back here. In the sun, she ain't so red. Let's see what we can do about drawing this thing out a little bit now. That ended up being a little bigger knife than I thought it was going to be. Doing that a little while. Go through one more of these cycles. I get this heel down. It's a little bit. I'm gonna lose my weld, but. So she's stretching right out there. We've been at it 8 minutes. The piece went in the forge first time at 11:20. It's now 11:28. All right, never having done one of these, I'm almost tempted to get that tang to be what I want it to be. The thickness of in length. And then go ahead and make what I can out of the rest of it. I don't want it too heavy back there. The one thing I noticed about the knife that they made the other day is by the time it got done, that handle, it was nice. It was. I told them, I said, geez, you almost don't need to put a handle on it. You can just use that handle as is. So that gave me the idea to try something integrated. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on this tang to the point where I'm happy with the thickness and the width, and then we'll see what we have left for blade. And back to that tang again. It is a lot hotter than the color shown. Sunlight, sorry about that. But that's the way it's going to be today. For a little while. I don't mind it being a little thicker towards the back. I don't want that groove in there though. You gotta take that out. I'm not going to want to deal with that grinding. So I don't mind a little taper, thicker towards the back, thinner in height, wider towards the back. And again, if you look at it, so let's say I do end up making this the tang, that's about equal amount of steel in front. So maybe our balance won't be so horrible, but we'll keep working on it. Let's see what we can do about working this tang out a little bit more. I think thinner towards the front. Kind of trying to imagine what that blade thickness is going to be when I get done. So I'll work from there, not the blade thickness, but from where I want the, like it'll be an integrated guard kind of thing, right? The edge of the handle kind of thing. Work that back. Thin that down in the front a little bit too. So I end up with a thinner front than back. We'll just keep working that. And again, the steel isn't as black as it looks. Maybe I'll have to close the doors today. This in a little bit more. This I want a little thinner in the front, I think. A little beefier in the back. That's getting right about where I want it to be at. And I like that. Put any type of curve or anything on it, that's just a little accentuate it. A little bit of a mess in the back, but we can clean that up once we get some more shape on this. So you can kind of see where I'm going. Go that way. So a little thinner here, a little bigger here, a little thinner here, a little fatter there. Alright, let's go ahead. My handle's still good enough. Start stretching this blade out a little bit. Probably get another inch out of it, and then we'll pull it out. Start making a shape for a blade. It's been 16 minutes. I know I'm like clip bitch. Alright, I'm going to try something here. I'm going to just see if I can get maybe an integrated guard out of this. I think I'd rather have something a little more, technical to do that, but I'm going to just see about dropping that blade thickness right at that one point now. See if I'm messing everything up, but we'll see. We'll see what it turns out to be. Alright, and that way, from that point forward, I'm hoping I can thin the blade and end up with a little bulge here as just kind of a pseudo guard. I don't know, I've never done it before, but I know it can be done. I've seen it. I like it so far. I think just the way that you do that, pinching it in like a guillotine or something might be better, but let's continue on. We'll stretch it out. If we can just do a little bit of stretching here. Again, I don't want to hit that, what I'm calling a card right now. Not sure how that's going to work out. Get a little more length on this. And Then we'll take the rest in both directions. We'll take the rest in both directions after that. Let's just kind of center this up so I don't look as bad as I think it looks. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, at this point I'm going to start bringing that a little bit of shape to this point. Just so as I start flaring it out, we get something that makes sense. Yep, I was going to say my handle's about to break. I'm going to work on that point a little bit more. We didn't have a chance to finish it last time. These are looking okay. I'm okay with this. A little slow. I'm at 20 minutes into this thing, 24 minutes. But I want to make sure everything's almost the same thickness, maybe a little thinner out here at the point before I start putting that full taper in. I got yelled at for hammer marks and stuff in the last one. We'll try to be careful. I want hammer marks in it, but I don't need big giant ones in it. So we'll go from there and we'll start putting that taper in and see what we end up with. We should get, I'm going to use the rounding hammer the boys made me, John made me, and that should give us stretch in both directions. So I should be able to pick up a little more length on that. And then actually we're after a lot of width right now. Let's see how that hammer works now. I'd use a little heavier hammer at this point because we do have a lot of steel to move, but I don't have a nice rounder like that, so we're going to just take advantage of that rounder. I'm going to start down this spine and go right out to the blade. Flip side, same thing. Does a good trick having that rounder out, I'll tell you. Yeah, I like it. Like it a lot. Alright, now what I'm going to do next on the next heat is, again, this is supposed to be some integrated guard. I'm just going to bring that back so I got a decent step there for the rest of the blade to draw out. Alright, and we don't have to step it much. I just want that blade to know that it belongs in a particular spot. Something like that. And hopefully that's not too far forward. And then we'll go ahead and keep bringing her out. We got 1/3 too thick of a spline than I want there, I think, so we got a little bit more meat to play with. Alright, we'll go back to the rounder for a minute here and try to get some more length and width. All the while working down some type of taper there. I'm extremely worried with shape yet. But yeah, now we're about the right thickness with a little fat on the end. I don't mind because I got some shaping to do. Yeah, that was good. So we'll bring that up, we'll heat it up. And we'll do a little cleanup on those hammer marks up by the spine. Get closer to the shape that we want. And then just draw out that edge a little bit more. Alright, we'll see how the flat side of this new hammer works. And again, I'm just trying to clean up the hammer marks. I like the thickness that I have. Start putting some type of definition into the spine. Still got a little bit of work to do, but that's good. So our spine is looking pretty good. A little bit more work to do there. I'm not hating it totally yet. And we got a good amount of steel on the edge still. So yeah, we're getting there. Been exactly 30 minutes. I need to play with this tip. I don't think it's going to turn out to be what I want it to be. So we're just going to bring that back up a little. Using a rounder. Just a little persuasion. That looks better. And then we'll get our thickness back where it belongs. I think I can clean up that tip the rest of the way once we get a little bit more bevel on. Or not bevel, but edge. Alright, let's see how this little rounder does on some fine details on the edge here. Bad. That's all. Hoping by pushing in both directions we'll get a bit of a curve on that edge like I want for a kitchen knife. That worked pretty well. I'm so used to that little, I'm so used to this guy for finishing my edges. I'm not sure at this point, but we got to learn the hammer, eh? Alright, we'll go one more time and see where we're at on this edge. Keep starting on the same side. I wish I don't do that. I wish I came over and started on this side. By the time I get here, I'm cooler and I don't have the same effect. And I think that stresses the steel a little bit. Alright, I think that's as far as I want to go down on the edge. So now all I need to do is just kind of work that flat bevel out. Get this tip, get that, what do we call it? Elf slipper tip off the top. Get close, get close. The chandler can do something about getting bit of a kitchen knife look to this thing rather than a camp knife. Smooth some stuff down. Alright, like that. But I want a sweeping look here, and that's the part I haven't done yet. Hoping by bringing the middle of this steel down, we'll get that kind of shape. So we get a nice little rocking kind of kitchen knife. I'm hoping. If not, then we'll have to persuade it. But we're getting down to the point now where everything is so thin that we don't have a lot of persuasion left. Pull the middle of that other side over now. Hopefully we'll pick up something there. I got a little bit of, my spine isn't totally straight there, but that's okay. This curve with the handle up here I think is not bad. I'd like a little bit more, but we got to clean that spine up. Isolate the heat into the spine. Now I am going to use the edge here a little bit. Try to bring that up. Now again, I want this this spine to be relatively straight. Yeah, perfect. I mean, it's almost perfect. So you gotta play your angles. And still keep my little sweep here in the front. Alright, I'm starting to like that a little bit more. I'm thicker here. That feels hot, Jim. Thicker here than I want to be, so that gives me even a little bit more curve. So we've got to thin that out. We're getting close, children. Just shut the camera off then now. We're getting so thin. But, like I said, I'm thick from here to almost the end. So I'm going to just take advantage of that. That should give us a little bit more curve in this edge, which I'm happy about. And once again, Chandler started on the same side. I hate that. We're looking much better. We still have a little room to play there. I'm going to take out some of those hammer marks on the black heat since we got it. Alright, and we did put a curve in the spine again. So back and forth, back and forth. Get closer. One thing about it, going through these little short heat cycles without a tremendous amount of steel movement helps normalize the blade a little bit on its own. Alright, I'm kind of happy with the way that spine looks. I'm happy with the swirl we have in there. It's almost, I don't think it's too bad. No, we're not straight till back here. I kind of like that. I want to bring this tip up to a bit more of a point, and then I think we're going to be done. I'm going to cut this handle off and finish that tang up with that handle up, and then we'll go through some normalizations, and I think the forging part will be done. I want to put a bit of a change in direction on that handle. But I just would like to that to come out to a point up there without changing the angle of my tang. A lot of this we could do on the grinder, probably with a lot less risk of moving anything else, but I like that. It's a little cleaner point, and I think we'll be okay with that. My edge is relatively the same. It's pretty thick back or thin back here, but I think I'm going to grind some of that off just to make the step. So I'm very, very pleased with it. At this point, it looks pretty damn straight to me. Wonk wonk in the edge right there. Use this hammer. A little wonk wonk there, but that's alright. I think we're okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead. Like I said, I want this handle comes up too much of an angle. I don't want it to be so that I need it to make sure that when I'm at this level, I'm not hitting my knuckles on the ground over here, right? So I want to just kind of put a little bit of a bend in it. Not much though, because I want plenty of knuckle space there. So once that's done, we'll cut the forging handle off. Let's see, just a little bit more heat here because I don't want the blade to be too messed up in the process. But again, oops, sorry, you're already on. Just a delicate little movement in that handle. Alright, just so that I'm happy with, yeah, the shape of it. You see what I mean? I don't know, I think that looks better. I really do. And I'm gonna flip this blade around. I'm gonna work on this tang a little bit more, or this handle a little bit more. Because it is going to be, that's the way it's going to stay. I'm not going to put any wood on it. It's going to be a nice integrated handle. So, blade's relatively straight. Let me cut this off. I'll be back when we work on that tang. My objective is to not be putting a wooden handle on this. So what I'm going to do, just to kind of decorate it up a little bit, is I'm just going to put some I'm going to let this cool down, of course, clean it up, put some little pothole drill marks in there, not very deep, 1/8 of an inch deep, and then go back and fill those with weld. So I'd have spots of weld mixed in with this handle, and then I'll forge this out into shape, and I think that'll give us a little bit of a leopard effect. Just something to add one touch of something to the handle, since it is going to be an integrated handle at that point. So when this is cooled down and cleaned off, I'll come back after I'll show you the drill marks, and then I've never done this before, I hope it's not stupid, but I think it'll give us some type of pattern in that process. Doing with the handle, it's still pretty warm. It's just randomly, gosh, it doesn't look as random as I want it to be, but randomly just put, just not even an eighth of an inch deep, I don't think. Little dimples in, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just plug those with some weld, and I don't know, maybe it's stupid, maybe it's not, but Chandler's always got to try something different, right? I bet you that on just, if this tang were finished, that might not be a bad handle, a little bit of a grip to it once it's cleaned and polished out. But anyway, let's now I'm gonna go ahead and forge those dots in, round this handle out, get the shape and alignment that I want, and we will be done. So it's now it's just 5 minutes short of an hour. We lost 15 minutes on this part, but now let's see what we can do just about cleaning up this tang, trying to make it as ergonomic as possible. I want to round that edge little bird mouth going on there. I don't want that, but we'll deal with it. It's going to give me a little more width here to be nice, children. Heat it up one more time. We'll go through it once more, we'll be alright. If I move it when I turn it off, it just keeps moving on me. Fix that bird's mouth on the grinder because I'm not going to pull it in now. Stop. Come on, I'll get a bite. We'll go ahead and soften these edges up now while we can. Save a little bit on the grinder. I'd squeeze that middle out a little more, just for a little more handle, but I think we'll be alright. Alright, we'll go in the heat and we'll get this thing perfectly straight. Right now it's not perfectly straight. It's mostly tension. And then we'll be done with the forging part. Exactly 1 hour at this point. About straightening her up. Straight, not twisted or turned or anything like that. Looks good. Flip the arm side looks good. Flip her around. It almost looks like we take off a little bit, but not much. It might be just something I had to fix with the grinders. It might be a little heavier on that top side there. Yeah, everything else looks in line. I think I'm happy with that. Let me just keep this edge. There's a little wobble in the edge. Since it's going to be such a fine grind, I don't want any wobbles in there. And what we'll do after we fix that is we'll go through, because it is so friggin' thin. You know, I didn't actually watch the guys harden their blade, which they also forged thin. I'll go ahead and normalize this like 3 times. We'll lose an hour in the process maybe, but just to hope we don't put any type of, God, it sucks to be blind, children, to put any type of work in there. That's it. Sorry, I'm focusing on the edge. Alright, that's it. Normalize 3 times, and I'll be back when we start grinding. I'll take you with me on the grinder this time. Alright, so that's as far as we're going to go with the rough grind on it. That edge is as thin as I want it to be. Alright, well, I want it sharpened and done. It's ready to go. I like this integrated handle. It kind of looks like a butter knife handle, but a lot of stainless knives that you buy off the shelf, the handles are integrated or hollow rolled on. I just like it. What the heck? I think it's really, really good, and that way you have less worries about the wood and all that kind of stuff, plus less work to put it together. So at this point, we're now, I'm like an hour and 30 hour and a half into it, but the normalization took a long time. So this isn't a $50 knife anymore, and it's too bad that it isn't, because I think it's a great knife for $50, but I'm not even close. I haven't hardened it, haven't tempered it, haven't put the final grind on it, haven't etched the handle yet. I mean, geez Louise. And when I call out a number on a knife, yeah, you can go find somebody, somebody that might make it cheaper, or you can go buy one off the shelf. But this is a lot of work, putting one of these things together. Even taking the easy way out, the quicker way out, yeah, easier too, and integrating the handle in there. All right, enough talking. Let's get this thing in for heat treat. About up the temperature for heat treat. Just want to make sure I didn't induce a warp or anything, which I did not. We'll go right into the fire. Give her a half a second, just make sure we didn't warp. Everything looks okay, and we'll let it cool down. Make sure we didn't do nothing stupid. Alright, we must have did pretty darn well normalizing in order for that thing not to work, because that is one thin blade. For sure. Awesome. Don't drop it, Jim. I can't see what you can see. Still can't see. There we go. Alright, let me get this thing washed off a little bit, and we will put a temper on it. Go ahead and make sure our little heat treat's up. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alrighty, clean her up and temper. I'm going to use my little propane torch on this one. It's not a very thick blade. Hopefully it won't take too long. Again, I clamp it between a couple of heat sinks since the blade is a little bit longer. I put a couple pieces of angle iron into my vise, and I'll work on, well, the handle didn't really get hardened much, but I work on the handle and then just this spine for variable temper. And with the regular torch, it doesn't take long, but the propane, a map gas would be a little better. But I'm looking for a blue on the spine and brown heading down towards the edge. And I don't think it should take too long with this thin blade. Kitchen knives I temper a little less than I do like a working knife, a bushcraft knife or something like that. Because we want them sharp and we're careful with them. Typically. What that does, again, a larger knife, I would get tempered exactly where I want and then lock that in with a quench. But this one will let it soak a little. I see what you can see. So we are, we're good colors right down to here. Alright, we're a little bit harder on the tip than I think I want. I don't know yet. I'm going to let this soak for a second and see if we get some from the tip. If not, we'll give her a little help. The problem with not locking the temper in is that it's very easy to over temper it with its own soaking, Kinda, I can't do it the right way. I got the blade upside down or something. Because I don't like the edge higher than the tang. So yeah, we're nice and golden. Yeah, I don't want to go any more on that tip. Yeah, we're already soaking in colors. I don't want to go any farther on. And I'm going to quench that in some oil first. I don't want to go any farther with it. It's exactly what I want. Brown, 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 purple, purple. Yep, I'm okay with that. I know I've been yelled at for locking in my quenches, but I haven't had any problems with it yet. Not yet, anyway. Still hot? Nope. So I'm very pleased with that. We got a nice soft spot here where most of your bending is, and then this is all relatively hard. Now, in case you're relatively new to this, it'd be like with this, a kitchen knife, they're not going to be chopping wood with it. Why even soften it at all? And what will happen? And I learned this lesson because I had asked the same thing. It's like, oh hell, I don't even need to worry about the edge. The edge becomes so brittle that it chips very easily, and you end up with little microchips all the way along the edge, and it's not functional as a knife. You see, you'd expect it to be like the harder the better, but there is a point where it's so thin down there, and the microchips get in the way. So yeah, I'm very pleased with the colors I got on this one, and I'll clean it up with some soap and water, and then we'll put this final grind in. Alright guys, I don't know where I am in this video because I've decided to turn it into two. I said I was going to go to the grinder. I did. I went to the grinder, and I'm going to put that in the second video. Alright? Just so that those that really want to see that hour of grinding can watch it, but I won't put it in here so you guys don't have to sit and see it. But that's where we are. I haven't polished it up with a rag or anything yet, but integrated handle, a little bit of a change here. It's almost like a butter knife handle. I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to call me dumbass or not for that. But it's built in. It really feels good. The handle's a little bit on the heavy side, but not much, you know what I mean? It's right there at that freaking transition point. I got a very, very sharp, because if you don't see the grinding video, I got a very, very sharp edge on that thing. It just shaves hair like there's nothing to it. Very pleased with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get this wiped down. And then if you remember, I put those welds in here. I'm going to try to etch just up to the blade, and see if we can pull that out as a final look to this thing. So hold tight. I don't think I did a video. Oh no, I did some forged welding. A lot of you guys told me these little medical tools will come in handy. Here you go, because I only want this thing to go down so far, and that's just about perfect. I just etch the handle and see maybe a little farther. Poop farts. No, that's cute. Maybe right to the edge of the blade. Let's see if I can get it there. Like that's close. I don't want to wreck my edge though. Probably should have wrapped it in tape or something. But right there is where we're going to go with it. We'll let it sit there for a good while, but I mean you can see already what's happening here. I thought something like that would happen. A little leopard style handle. Again, so we left the handle all metal. We didn't put a wooden handle on it. Why not dress it up a little bit, Give it something special about itself. And who knows, whatever. I'll be back in a few minutes. Sitting in there about 5 minutes or so. And like I think I already gave you a sneak peek, but it did exactly what I was thinking I was going to do. Put those little dots in there. I don't know. I mean, now that I see it, maybe I could have done something different. But it was something that I wanted to try, and I did. We'll wipe it off and see how much stays. Yeah, it's going to be pretty when it's done. Get that off that blade, though. A nice division right there on that blade. Can you see it? Yeah. So I like that. Like that look. Let me get it neutralized, and I'll come back, cut some paper, and we'll be done. Here you got it, 1075 knife that we used from the scrap from Eric and John, and Eric and John made me that 2¼ pound rounding flat hammer, and we used that in the video, and that'll work really, really well. It's not perfect. Geez, Chandler's got more work to do. There are a few little hammer marks inside there, but I like it. I mean, it's very, very pretty. The whole idea of the handle, the dots in there, I like the dots. Now that I see it, I wish I'd gone up a little farther with them. But the etching gives that a texture to it, more like it almost feels rubberized down there. So there's the blade. It looks really good. It's as sharp you want to be on Chandler's world anyway. You can't see what you guys are in an awkward spot. All right, so for a kitchen knife, it'll do the trick for show. And there you have it. 1075 kitchen knife with, I don't know what you call that pattern, leopard pattern, drill and weld pattern, whatever. And I hope you enjoy the video. It was a fun build, and I think I got at least one product for sale in the thing. $2,000. I'm just kidding. I don't know for sure what it'd be. It's now 2 o'clock. I started at 11:20 to 12:20 to 1:20. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. All right, a little more than that. Normalization takes quite a while, but 2.5 hours from start to finish, and I wasn't rushing, and I did about as good a job as Chandler can do at this point. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your support. Thank John and Eric for the hammer, no doubt about it, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm not sure what I'll put as a price. 2.5 hours. I don't know. See, that this makes this thing like $100 to $150 knife, and I don't know. Offer me $150, I'll send it to you. There's a bugaboo. It's not a bugaboo, it's just the grind mark there. It's not perfect. There you go. Have a good day, guys. Seriously, thanks for all your support. Catch you on the next one. If you found this video helpful, educational, maybe even if you just found it entertaining, and you want to support me, you can jump back to my channel. There's a button on the right hand side of the screen called support, and it's kind of like a tip jar. You can go ahead and leave Chandler a tip for this video, and that'll help me make some more, I guarantee. Thanks for your support, as always.